Thank you for joining us for this comprehensive review of all the 2024 features of the PDM Convert Task Extended. In this video, we're going to go through the consolidated feature in the Options tab. And these features have been grouped into several sections. Let's start with the Output section. Now in this area here, you can define the location where you want your files to be saved or printed to. I have specified here the root folder of my vault and wanted to append that to this hard-coded location. You have the ability to right-click on the RMB button here, where you are prompted a number of special values that will be evaluated to their corresponding environment value when the adding is processing your files. So you can include things such as the file name, the state of the file, the configuration name, and you can even specify the name of the launching user as well as the user that is executing the task. You always have option to use PDM variables of the file that the task is printing. So you can end up creating elaborate paths that the add-in will take care of creating for you. And this location can be within the vault, but it can also be outside of the vault. The same process applies to the file name, right? So you can create a file name that contains the configuration, the state, and so on and so forth. Just make sure that if you are printing all the configurations, that you include the configuration name in the file name. Otherwise, you'll end up having the same configuration overriding all of your values. And the extension drop down here allows you to select which extensions you are converting to. So you have PDF, DWG, step, and you got all the eDrawing extensions as well as PowerSolid and HTML. And then if you expand the login section here, you can either log to our server and let us take care of that, or you can enable local logging, where you can specify a location in your vault where you want the task to save its logs. Unfortunately, when you log in to the vault, you can only do it there. You cannot choose a location that's outside the vault. For your export location, this can be anywhere except for the logs. They have to be within your vault. Let's jump over to the export section here. When you check export or reference documents, that means that if you run this on an assembly, all the references will be processed as well. If you have checked PDF and you check merge PDF, then the outputted PDFs eventually will be merged all together into one master PDF. You can force the add-in to work with the latest version, and then check this checkbox here to enable it to convert your files to all configurations. And this is very useful when you have step files, for example, that you want to rip all configuration separate files. You can do that with this option here. If you have large drawings where it would be more efficient to open them using the quick view mode, then check this checkbox right here. And if you're sending, for example, your packages of files to your supplier or a collaborator outside of your organization, you want to archive everything into a zip archive, then you check this option right here. Conditions are in a separate tab called the Conditions tab. And in here, you can specify conditions that you want the add-in to apply to a file prior a save operation. So let's say that you are printing to a PDF and you only want to target, for example, files that have the part type variable equals to make. Oops, and I need to reopen that again because I think I might have hit OK. So part type variables that are equal to make, go to conditions, equal to make, and this condition will be applied to all the references you're processing. And if the condition is equal to true, then that file will be added to the queue and the file will be saved to these extensions. If you check one-to-one sheet metal, that means if the part that the task is processing is a sheet metal part, what the task will do is that it will print a one-to-one sheet metal DXF file and append the word flat pattern to the file and save that to your export location, whether that would be in your vault or outside your vault. If you enable the watermark, then all your drawings that are going to be saved to PDF will have a watermark note, and then you have the ability as well to specify a quantity, which is the quantity from that top level assembly. Check this checkbox here, and then you want to specify where that note would land, and you can append some pretext to it. So this could be something like quantity, and I want this to be along the x axis at 8%, and then I want this to be at 10% of height. Now you don't have to use this option of setting the location of the note. If you already have a custom property that's part of your sheet format, you just specify the name of the custom property, and then the add-in will find that property, set the value to that custom property. A lot of people don't have sheet formats with predefined custom properties that are bound to a note, so most likely you'll end up having to define a location of the note as well as the pretext. And as always, you can import and export these settings. There's a separate video that I put together for the notes. I'll link that in the description of this post. And if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to me directly on LinkedIn or by going to our website at www.bluebyte.biz. Thank you for watching.